Welcome back to Horse Racing Today for terrific Terry Thursday for our back-to-back day at Saratoga after a pretty good showing, I feel like, yesterday. A bounce-back day from that day that we had at Parks anyway.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But first of all, I want to apologize. I didn't change the name on our website from Parks to Saratoga, although I had the Saratoga information. I was in such a hurry to get out and get to my grandkids that I just missed that.
Well, that happens. What Terry's referring to is at the end of the day, we'll have, at the end of the show, over at horseracingtoday.net, there is a link in the description where you can head on over there for a recap of the show, all of our comments, along with a replay of today's show. You can get that at horseracingtoday.net. And then while you're there, if you'd be so kind, where it says HRT gear, get yourself looking good like Terry with all those number 5s up top there. Let's find a couple of those to show you how good you can look too. Look, these things are in demand. They're being bought out. So Horse Racing Today, make sure you head on over there. Be like all those folks gobbling up that other stuff. We appreciate it. Let's see. You can get the nice number 5 hat right there. You'll look fantastic, just like Terry always does. Again, you could change the color. So if you want to go with the white in the red, look at that. That looks pretty sharp, actually, I feel like, Terry.
Yeah.
Of course, you can head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, too. Get some free picks tonight at Evangeline Downs. And when you win some money there, that'll give you a good reason to get on over to Horse Racing Today and buy a nice white and green hat, too. And you see yesterday what we had, I think I had 5 winners in 9 races as my top pick yesterday. So that alone should catapult you over there to get a hat.
Yeah, and my pick of the day won and paid $10.40, I think, $10.20 or $10.40. So that was pretty
something
nice.
Like that. Yes, indeed. Well, the first race today, we're going to try to keep that streak alive. Not Terry's best bet, but finding some winning horses. What's going on in the opener today?
Well, it's a 5.5 furlong race. It's a turf race, maiden $90,000 purse for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
Yes, and ordinarily we talk about some simulations, but too many first-time starters here. But we still have our profile of a winner. Stalkers do pretty good. Looks like you want to be on the inside or on the outside. Those post positions perform the best. So some early speed. Inside, outside, Terry, again, no simulations here. Normally we do 10. So the only thing we can do now is make our selections based upon intuition, handicap experience, and, well, hopefully some good luck.
Yeah, well, I like in this first race the number 10 horse, Miss Banker. She showed an early foot in her debut race, and with a cutback to 5.5 furlongs, she should carry her speed to the finish line, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like number 4, Heavenly Light, first-time starter. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 2, Second Chance, is a first-time starter as well. Her breeding suits today's sprint distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And my long shot, Musical Q, is a first-time starter. She is she's got breeding that suits today's sprint distance, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. What we get to do is we get to $100 budget each day, and we bet $2 to win on our first choice, a $1 exacta box on our first 2 choices, and a 50-cent trifecta box on our first 3 choices, a 10-cent superfecta box on our first 4 choices. And with having 10 races today, that means that $8.40 per race is $84. That leaves us $16 to bet elsewhere.
Will you guys do a doubleheader, Saratoga and Del Mar? I suppose we could do that one of these days, Terry. Maybe I'll take a look at my post-show schedule, and maybe we can do something like that on a Thursday, maybe next Thursday, if time prevails. Would you be open for that, Terry?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it's surf and turf, but something along. We'll find toga and turf or something like that. Surf and spa and surf. That sounds like a good place to go anyway. In this opener, the 10 is going to be your favorite, Miss Banker. Any improvement in the second race, and much like the 10 horse yesterday, that won with second race improvement, Miss Banker should do the same. Heavenly Light. I'd have a 3-point scale for my horses. This one only gets 2.5, so not the strongest bunch of first-time starters in here. It does have solid breeding. The trainer is okay in debuts, but that back bullet workout on July 7th of 4 furlongs and 47-3, that's pretty good. Does have a maintenance workout since then. On a summer day, the 5-horse. What a great name for a summer day. The only reason I didn't put this one second is the barn doesn't win a whole lot. Decent enough breeding. This one, too, on July 3rd, had a 4 furlong work in 47-4, as good as any of them, and has 3 maintenance workouts since then. So they sharpened that saw, and they've kept it sharp getting ready for day. And then Second Chance, the 2-horse, good breeding. Bill Mott does have a pretty solid record off the bench for the first time. The workouts really aren't all that good, but then again, Bill Mott's really not known for pressuring his horses early on in their careers. Win pool number 4, there you go. So look out for the 4. He's saying the win pool number on the 4 and the 10 is 20, so it looks like a match race between the 4 and 10. Could be. Saludos to you as well from Venezuela again. Thank you for joining us again, Raul. We appreciate it. Raul Money. You got to love that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So race number 1 at Saratoga. Going to start in about a minute, it looks like. Well, actually, they might be loading up at the gates right now. Let's see what's they're I don't know. For whatever reason, some of those East Coast tracks, whether it's Charlestown or Gulfstream or Saratoga, whatever it is, man, they like to kind of meander around before the races start.
They sure do.
Well, while we have a little bit of time here, tomorrow, as always, is Foreign Friday with myself and 22-1 Thomas. We're going to do Ascot, which is always a fun track to do because it's difficult. And usually some really nice prices hit there. So hopefully Thomas and I can uncover a nugget or two that pays $1 or $2. Again, next week too, just for the record, Parks is off for the next 3 weeks. So Terry and I got to figure out what we're going to do. Preliminarily, I believe we'll do Ellis Park on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we'll probably either Horseshoe Indianapolis or Delaware. And then we'll get to Wednesday for Saratoga, and maybe Thursday, schedule permitting, we'll do the doubleheader, Terry. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Right now, you have the 4-horse is actually moved into the favorite status. They're loading up the 10-horse first, which is kind of interesting. That one's got one of the few with experience, and experienced and all, he's really not all that eager to go into the gates. And now they're going to load up the rest. Looks like a pretty nice day up there in northern New York. Nice part of the country for sure. If you haven't been there, I would recommend heading up that way for a weekend at Saratoga Racing. Terry, sure you feel the same way?
Yeah, it was really fun last year when we went. It was last year, right?
It was 2 years ago.
2 years. Oh, look at the time just flies by. The older you get, the faster it goes.
Yes, because 1 divided by 150 is much different than 1 divided by 50.
Yep, that's true.
That's why time seems to speed up, because when you go from 1 to 2, you've lived 100% longer than you did before. Whereas when you go from 57 to 58, it's just 1/58th of your life.
Yeah.
So it is the appearance of time going faster. But I was actually reading an article about where they say time is actually going faster.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I forget where I read it, but there's some theory out there too about the universe is actually speeding up in time. So days are going by faster. I don't know. I mean, they're still measured in 24 hours, but somehow that 24 hours is less than 24 hours. A lot of crazy ideas out there, Terry.
Yeah, there are. That's for sure.
And one of them is expecting the folks at Saratoga to start on time. They had to resaddle, looking to rock. Is looking to get into the gates here.
Yeah, they're cinching up the saddle on that horse.
Yeah, I think they finally cinching up the saddle, and the horse is kind of give him a little bit of problems going into the gate, but not too bad. They're all set. The 4-horse Heavenly Lights with Flavian Pratt is your post-time favorite, slightly favorite over the 10-horse. Both going off at 2-1. And guess the 10-horse broke super duper sharply with the 2-horse in the chase position. Then you got the 1-horse at 9-1. And then that 9-horse, the one that they had to saddle up late, making a move. Down around the corner they go. Again, Miss C. Banker, that second-time improvement horse on the lead with the 2-horse right in there. You got the 9-horse still competing fairly well. Looks like the 1-horse is going backwards. The 5-horse is getting engaged. Here comes 1-horse that's making a pretty aggressive run on the outside. I think that is the 5-horse in there. I don't know what happened to the 4. The other co-favorite really didn't fire. Right now, it looks like the 10 and the 2 are going to give it the best shot for the win. Got a whole bunch of other stuff going on for 3rd and 4th, but the 10-horse looks like it might be your winner. I don't know. The 2-horse is pulling up pretty aggressively next to it, so it's going to be between the 10 and the 2, the 10 and the 2. It's going to go 2, then 10. I don't know what finished there. Maybe the 6-horse. Kind of tell what came in next, which would be classical finale. So the 2-horse dancing second chance. That one, what was that? Your 3rd favorite in there? So
yeah, it was the 3rd favorite. Nice price though, 9-2.
Not a bad price at all. So there we go, folks. There's your opener. The 10-horse couldn't hold on, so shorten up. Maybe that one's got to run 5 furlongs.
Hey, probably 5.5 was a little too long, I guess.
Yes, indeed it was. All right, let's see. Who did finish 3rd? I'm kind of interested to see who that was. It's tough to tell here at the end because you kind of a bunch of horses down on the rail there, mixing it up at the end. They always say bet the gray. Actually, it was the 4-horse that came in there. So you go. And then the 9, looking to rock.
Good. I hit the trifecta then.
Mm-hmm. Race number 2. Let's try to hit a trifecta there too.
All right. And number 2 is a 7-furlong race, claiming $10,000 claiming price, $28,000 purse for fillies and mares 4-year-old and upward.
7 furlongs. I think there are 2 7-furlong races on the card today. The first one, of course, does favor early speed. 3 of 9 races so far at Saratoga have gone wire to wire. A bit of a rail penalty for another day gone by. 2 and 3 is the best place to be. 4 through 7 a bonus, 8 and out so far. Nobody has scored from out there. This time around, we do have 10,000 simulations. We want to see who has the best chance to get to the lead. Based upon our projected pace, which horses will be in their comfort zone. We want to score a 50 or more typically. Par Plus lets us know what percentage in the 10,000 simulations the horse ran a speed figure equal to or greater than par for this level, which would be 78. You see a whole bunch of them there with that ability. And then our simulation odds. We'd like for our odds to be lower than post-time odds. Terry, looks like one of them surely is going to be the one they all have to catch.
Yep, that 3 has plenty of speed, as you can see by the data there, followed up by the 8. The 2 has an overlay from 3-1 to 4-1. The 8 has an overlay from 5-2 to 6-1. All but the 3 and 7 show some kind of par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, although some of them are pretty low.
Base handicapping for today, along with trip handicapping. We'll start on the trip side. 3 and 6, they want to be forward on the lead, preferably. 4 and 8, they like to co-pilot. 1, 5, and 7, these 3 have a lot of versatility. They can be in the middle, they can be in the front, they can be in the back. So they've shown that they have many ways to find the winner's circle. And the 2-horse, Our Funny Business, is a lone closer. So if this whole group up here goes too fast, the 2 could get an excellent trip. In the beginning, it does look like the 3 and the 6 will duke it out for the lead. There's really not much difference between the 2. The 3-horse, according to our simulation, should be the one that sets the tone. It's to the inside, so it has every advantage to be first. As they come down the stretch to the finish line, Joey the Fish and Our Funny Business, they'll be coming much quicker than everybody else at the end, although Our Funny Business should have a pretty aggressive advantage early on over that. Our Funny Business actually should be ahead with Joey the Fish. So the closer actually with a little bit of left arrow action. Our top total pace horse in here is the closer, Our Funny Business. Miss. And you got another middle pack horse here. Should be well positioned. Jolly Miss. So it looks like all of these horses, for the most part, should get the trip that they're looking for. Terry, who's going to end up getting the best trip?
Well, I like the number 2 horse, Our Funny Business. She's was second in her last race versus Tougher, and she has the highest last speed rating, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Then the 6, Condiment Girl, is my second choice, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 23% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and she has a high percentage winning jockey, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The 1 horse, Another Day Gone By, is my third choice. She finished in the money in 4 out of her last 5 races, winning two of the starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And then the 7 is my long shot, Macho Mama Mia. She has won 2 out of the last 3 races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play Miami Vice, Don Johnson, pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 6, 7 with the 1, 5, 7, 8 with the 7, 9, 10, and then finish up with the 1A and 3, and that's a cost of $48.
So Race Masters is going to go with you with your 7, Mucho Mama Mia. If, like Race Masters, you have some thoughts about the races today, no matter where they are in the world, let us know. And hey, we always appreciate winning picks and comments. It helps us with the algorithms and helps other folks make more money at the track. That's why we're all here. I am going to go with the 8 horse, Jolly Miss Jill. It's the only horse last time out to show any improvement across the board. So the beginning and the middle and the end of its last race, signs of improvement. I think this horse is going to get a really nice stocking trip with these, has some closing ability, and should just get the right run. Condiment Girl, likely favored in here. Most back class, might not look like it on paper though, Terry, but I do think this one's going to fight it out for the front today. Our Funny Business, I couldn't have put this one on top because when we do parks, right, we look for horses that come from NYRA to parks because those track droppers usually do pretty well. My experience says the parks horses that make the reverse trip into New York, the track hike, I've seen way too many of them underperform their parks numbers to forget, but I'll give this one a chance. And then finally, Another Day Gone By, that 1 horse. The resume says sharp improvement, could be in the mix today, making the second start after a layoff. I, too, am going to do a pick 4. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 with the 4, 7, with the 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 1. I think that's $25. I didn't really want to spend a whole lot on this pick 4 because there's a really, I think, strong chance to get 2 big favorites into the winner's circle, which would reduce the payouts by a lot. Hopefully they get beat, though, because the opposite effect will happen then.
Yep.
Race number 3, we're looking for some winners here, too, Terry. What are they running for?
Well, we're going to stretch out to 1 mile and 3/8, and it's on the inner turf. It's an allowance race, $110,000 purse. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won $20,000 other than maiden claiming starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 2 races.
So far, they haven't really run a whole lot of these races. They only ran 1 of them. So this will be race number 2 as well. And the stalker one from post 2 or 3. So it looks like you, despite the big distance, especially with that early kind of first turn there, it looks like you do want to be forwardly placed in race number 3. A lot of the speed scratched out, so I think all that's going to fall back to the 1A horse then.
That's right. As you can see here, the 1A does show the most speed in here, but it's not like fantastic, but it's a lot better than the rest of them. None of them have any kind of an overlay that I can see. And then the one, several of them have Par Plus, but the 1 and the 7 show the best. And all of them show C zones, although that 2 is a little bit low.
Yeah, the 1, the 3, and the 8. Those guys scoring pretty well on potentially positive trips today. And see if that relays to the handicapping, to the trip handicapping. Well, you got most of these horses want to be middle back. So the 3 and the 8 could maybe get out to the front and steal this one, particularly if they can get away with some softer fractions. It does look like the 8, the 1A, and the 3 are going to be in that mix. I don't know where the 1A is on my sheet here, but I'll put them in next time. Pretty evenly matched at the beginning of the race, though nobody's going to be really going all that fast. You don't expect them to go all that fast in a mile and 3/8 at the start. At the end, the 1 horse, the 4 horse, and Boss Lady Bailey, the 2 horse, they have the most late legs, although the 1 horse about 3/4 of a length quicker than everybody else. It does look like, despite the long distance, minus the 1 horse, we get the 1A in there too. So you got 2 of them in the top 4. Usually the winner will come out of this mix right there, Terry, the top 4 horses. I do think this race offers up a lot of opportunities for different horses. Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I like the 7 as my top pick, ID Generation. She ran second versus Tougher in her last race. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 29% of the races when using second-time Lasix, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 8 High Stick. She finished in the money in 6 races out of her 8 race career, winning 1 of the starts, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Then I like the 1 Haystack. Finished 4th in her last race, beaten only a length and 3/4 though, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. And then Just Deny is the 5, my long shot. She won her last race at Aqueduct. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and she has a bullet workout on July 16th. No additional bets for me here.
Yeah, the 7 horse has been off for a while, I think since October. If she's ready, she is the best horse in this race. She wins. If she's not ready, I like the 1 better than the 1A Haystack. 3 consecutive speed figure increases for Haystack. This one's going to make the second start after a layoff. And according to her CV, their second race off the bench will be better than the first. So expect a 4th consecutive speed figure increase. The 4 horse, Sacred Image, is one of those finally healthy horses, making its second start in a row for the very first time of its short career. And one of those types came home for me first yesterday at a decent price. And then I'm going to end up with High Stick as well. Very steady performer. Strong turf breeding, was improved in the first half mile last time out. And again, Craig Milkowski from Timeform US said that's one of the indications. Improved 2 and 4 furlong pace figures to let you know a horse is rounding into shape. Race 4, Terry, in this 10 race card on this terrific Terry Thursday. Ton of scratches in here, but for those that are left running, what are the prizes?
Well, it's another mile and a mile and 16th race, and it's on the turf again, claiming 35,000, purse 55,000. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 3 races.
Mile and a 16th on the turf. We saw a couple of them yesterday, but generally speaking, closers are the way to go, and you want to be on the inside, preferably, or the outside. The barbell type post positions seem to do the best, Terry. So speed doesn't really matter as much probably in race 4. Maybe we'll concentrate a little bit more on the late pace when we do the pace handicapping. But in this shortened field, it does look like the 10 horse really the one to catch.
Yeah, that's right. That's the 10 shows the most speed of all the horses in here, Tony. It also has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 8 to 1. 10, 6, 9, and 7 show par plus numbers, and all of them show some kind of C-zone numbers, although the 7's pretty low.
And our trip handicapping does point out that the 10 is a lone E over here all by itself. The scratch is really changing the shape of this race. Everybody middle back. The 9 horse is a lone PC type. They're always dangerous, so keep an eye on them. At the get-go, it does look like pretty much they'll come out in a pack together, although it's really tough to tell which one's going to get to the lead. Maybe our simulation is the way to go over there. At the end, this is where this race is likely to be decided. The 10 horse, next on stage, a little bit more than a length faster than everybody else. Top total pace-wise, it is 7 points clear of Pelota Sisters. And then Ele Est Forte, 5 points behind Pelota Sisters. It just kind of staggered down a little bit. Be interesting to see when the race is over how closely it lines up to total pace, Terry. How closely do your picks line up to total pace?
Well, I like that 10 horse next on stage. She finished in the money in 9 of her 10 career races. winning 2 of those races and has a high percentage winning trainer. So she's very competitive. The 9 is my second choice, won her last race at Delaware Park, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like the 7 El Esta Forte. She ran second versus similar to her last race. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then as my long shot, I like the 6 horse Cannon Fire. She finished third versus similar last race, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Play the second, pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson, 6, 7, 9, 10 with the 1A, with the 3, 9, then with the 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, finishing up with the 1A and 6. I think that's a $48 ticket.
Oh, so there's multiple pick 4s today. I missed one in there somehow.
Yeah, I think there's one in the 4th.
Well, I'll put one together real quickly while we go through the next race, and we'll come back to it. For me, the question for the 10 horse is, I think it's making its first start on turf today. And the record on the off track, the breeding suggested should do all right. I do think, just tactically speaking, it is a lone E-type, should be close to the lead. Doesn't really need to lead because it also has the most late speed in the race and the top total pace, 7 points clear of the next closest horse. All good reasons to think that horse will fire on its first grass go. Ella Este Forte. That one does love to come off the bench after a little bit of rest, but loves to finish second. 23 races in its career, 2 wins, 10 times this horse finished second. So maybe the bet here is all over the 7 in an exacta. Number 9, Pelota Sisters. It's another horse that tends to do really well after a little bit of R&R in the barn, taking a big class drop today, which makes me wonder why. Because it's run well against horses at higher levels. Why are they trying to unload this guy? Tap It Up, the 5 horse, the lone trip on the Saratoga grass would be good enough to actually beat these horses. So keep an eye out on that 5 horse. Terry, while you go through race number 5, I'll try to rewind a little bit and put together a pick 4. But in the meantime, tell us race number 5.
All right. Well, it's a 1 1/8. It's a claiming race, $16,000 claiming price. The purse is $35,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. And let me say that Christopher D'Souza likes the number 9 in the 4th race, a win in place, and then he likes the 9, 3, 10 exacta trifecta box.
All right. So at 1 1/8. On the main track, they haven't run a whole bunch of these either, Terry, so far, only 8 of them. But interestingly enough, you got to be fat because 4 out of the 8 went wire to wire, and most of the other 4 were co-pilots. You have a very strong inside 3 bias. 4 through 7 get discounted, 8 and out so far. Nobody's won. It's not surprising that the inside 3 do well when you consider how quickly they make that turn. So if you're in the inside 3, Terry, in race number 5, and you have some giddy up and go, you got a shot, although it does look like the 1A on the outside is where the speed is.
That's right. That 1A is that farthest outside post position, has all the speed in the world in here. And so I think that horse, if it gets a good break, can get that quarter pole first. And that's the only horse that has any kind of an overlay from about 4 to 5 to even money. And then the 1A is the only par plus number in here. And then all of them show some kind of C zone.
All right. So also we'll take a look at our trip handicapping. I'm trying to multitask here and put in my pick 4 for a race that I missed. In race number 5, the 1A and 2, they're your front runners. Everybody else middle back. So if the 1A and 2 can get themselves to the front, they got a great chance. Unlimited Potential, much quicker than everybody else. October Bliss, Painter's Prodigy, Masterwork, a whole bunch of them will be duking it out, fighting it out, battling one another and bumping to find themselves in the co-pilot spot, which is a coveted place as well. At the end of the race, Whiskey and Soda, the other part of the entry, is a little bit quicker than everybody else, and that's another one that could be battling it out for second place. And then, second or at the quarter mile marker. And then the 2 entries are your top total pace horses, with the 1 Whiskey and Soda grading out better than Unlimited Potential, although I feel like the one on that front could be the one to beat, Terry. In your opinion, who is it?
Well, I like in this race the 1A Unlimited Potential is my first choice. Finishing the money in 4 out of the 5 career races, winning one of the starts, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 3 is my second choice, finished in the money in 2 of his 2 career starts, finishing third in his last race at Gulfstream Park, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 9, Masterwork, third choice. He drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And then my long shot is the 10, Endowed. He drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. That's it.
All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the one horse here. I think the 1 and 1A should get the lead, the 1A, never give it up. I do fear that the odds will be something like 2-5. Painter's Prodigy after the 1. This one does have the best combination of early speed and late speed. Also has the most unlocked potential, making only its 3rd start after a layoff. The number 10 horse, Endowed. I mean, you have a bunch of mid horses in here, and then Irad riding the 10 horse, so you can't bet against him, giving his horse every chance to win, especially against a light field. And I'm going to take a little bit of a shot here with Young Frau, the 11 horse. Looks like it's going to be one of the longest shots on the board. The best efforts in its career, only 2 times this horse has made it 3 starts after a layoff. One of them was its only win. The other one was its best race in the last 10 races. And they had high hopes for this horse at one time because he did run in the Florida Derby against Forte. So they thought they had something here. Let's see if the 3rd time at the 3rd race after a layoff was also one of its best performances. Race number 6, as we work our way through this 10 race card, another one of these races full of horses making their first starts, Terry.
Yeah, that's right. This race number 6 is a 6 furlong race for maidens. It's $90,000 purse for maidens. 2-year-olds foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
And the 6 furlong on the dirt type race does favor some tactical speed, although about 40% so far have gone wire to wire. Looks like really the best place to be is where a 4 out. So some outside speed, Terry, would be useful. Unfortunately, we don't get the usefulness of our simulations. So the only thing we can do once again, put pen to paper and make picks.
That's right. And so I like the 3, Shake It for the Bird. He's a first-time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 2 starters, and one is a stakes winner, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then 7 and Kate in the Chase is another first-time starter whose dam has 3 winners from 3 starters, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then Book It with Haddad. That's a funny name. Anyway, it's the 10. It's the first-time starter and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. All of them seem about the same. But number 2, Man of Mischief, is my long shot. Another first-time starter whose dam has 4 winners from 5 starters, and he has a good workout on July 18th. No bet for me in this race.
I think the 10 horse, Book It with Daddy, that one might be the one to beat right here. Does have a June 16th back bullet. 47 seconds for 4 furlongs. Was the second fastest of 136 horses. That tells me this guy's got a little bit of talent. Shaking for the Bird. This is one of those first-time starters that gets 3 out of 3 for me in my points. But I'm a bit curious about that because a lot of that work was at Finger Lakes. And I would feel like this horse would be domiciled at Saratoga or Belmont or Aqueduct, one of the top-tier New York tracks, if they felt it had this type of talent. Maybe they just saw a lot of it and said maybe he doesn't deserve to be at Finger Lakes. Tough to tell. Number 7, In the Chase. Good breeding. Strong trainer debut numbers. Solid, steady workouts. Getting ready. And then the 1 horse, Dominican Thunder. Connections think that they have something here of value, Terry, because they debuted this horse in a $150,000 non-graded stakes race. You don't do that if you don't think you have a pretty solid horse there. We'll find out today if this horse is ready to run at the maiden special weight ranks. Race number lucky 7, the beginning of the late pick 4. Looks like Terry's pick of the day upcoming. So tell us about the 7th race.
Okay, the 7th race is 7 furlongs. It's an allowance race, $20,000 allowance, $50,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $20,000 or less in 2023 or 2024.
And at 7 furlongs, the profile of a winner. You're looking for horses that have early speed. About 33, 1 out of 3 goes wire to wire. A little bit of a rail penalty. A couple of those horses backed out of there. So 2 through post positions 2 and 3, they do the best. You get a little bit of a bonus from 4, 5, 6, and 7. And so far, nobody has won from the outside. So the Buffalo Girls don't do good in race number 7, Terry. But we don't have that many horses out there with all the scratches. Who's going to set the tone with all the speed out?
Yeah, there's a lot of speed in here, but it's minor speed. The 6, 5, and 1 show the most speed. And then the 2 has an overlay from, 3 to 1 to 4 to 1. And the 5 has an overlay from about 7 to 2 to 4 to 1. The 6, 5, and 2 show par plus numbers, and they're pretty nice. And then all but the 2 has C zones.
And our pace handicapping for this race right here. Skip ahead 1. Really no lead dependent horse in here. The 1A, the 5, and the 8, they can pressure or they can pilot. It's up to them. You got the lone PC here in Pin Track, so look out for that guy because that one has a lot of versatility too. The 2 and 7, they want to close. At the start, it does look like Pin Track, the PC type, could take the lead if it so chooses. About a length faster than Dot's Dollar, a little bit quicker than Got Thunder. At the end of the race, Got Thunder, that one along with Dot's Dollar, Pin Track, we're seeing the same 3 horses right there. So I'd imagine they'll line up as our top total pace horses with Pin Track getting the first call, a length better than Dot's Dollar. Terry, that one's your play of the day.
It is. Pin Track is my play of the day of the 6 horse. And finished in the money his last 10 races, winning 7 of those starts. And he has the highest speed figure at today's distance and a good 4 furlong workout on July 19th. 1A, Got Thunder, second choice. He won his last race at Delaware Park, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. The 5, Mongolia Midnight, is my third choice. Ran second in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. Beach Walker, the 7, finished third in his last race and switched to high percentage winning jockey. That's my long shot. I'm going to play another 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1A with the 6. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3, 8 with the 8, 11, and finish up with the 2, 3, 7, 8, 10, 12. And I'm going to bet $10 to win on number 6 and a $2 daily double from 6 to the 1, 2, 8.
I'm going to start with the 5 horse as my top selection. This horse, if you just look at its last race, last 2 races at Saratoga, the only 2 races it had at Saratoga were just absolutely dominating wins. So I think maybe this is just a horse for the Saratoga course. The 6 horse, Pin Track, that's going to be a heavy favorite, I think. Top total pace by 5 points, likely to be up on the front. Number 2, Dot's Dollar. All of the race internals were better last time out. The only reason I didn't put this one a little bit higher up, Dot's Dollar, is because in the second race after a layoff, it either takes 2 out of 3 times big jumps forward, the other time took a big fall down. Does have a pair of maintenance workouts between races, so I suspect the horse should be more fit today, putting it in the big pop column. Reddington, the 8 horse, my final choice in here, Terry, big class dropper, does his best work up front and has a really good shot to be a part of the pace here today. How long do we have? 1 minute to race number 2. So we don't have time to do the next race. I do have a pick 4 here as well. I'm going to go 5, 6. I do think one of those 2 will be your winner. 2, 5, 8. And then I'm going to close it out with my top 4 picks across the board. That's $48. I did go back and rewind and do my pick 4 for race number 4. This one is going to be, what's that, $16. Again, I feel like some really short prices can hit in the sequence. So really didn't want to invest a whole lot of money in that one. It's never fun to put more money in than you get back when you're a winner.
That's right.
You won, but you lost, which is kind of interesting. I feel like you should at least get your money back if you pick it right?
Yep.
So in the second race right now, looking at the favorite, looks like it's going to be the 6 horse in here. Condiment Girl, that one is 8-5. Next up on the leaderboard is the 2 horse at 7-2. Our Funny Business, that's that Parks transfer. Is that the Parks transfer? Yeah, that is the Parks transfer. Then the 1 horse, Another Day Gone By. That one's 6-1, along with the 4, Run Devil. That's the one neither one of us have, Terry. And then the 8 horse in there, Jolly Miss, my top pick. Good. That one's 11-1. The 7 horse is 5-1. That one's getting bet down kind of hard. So let's see if Miss Jolly Miss can come through at a price and an overlay with a pretty good par plus score in there. Hopefully I'm right and all the bettors over there are wrong, but usually that's not how that works out.
Did we say hello to Christopher D'Souza today? I think we did. And I want to thank him for giving me props for my pick of the day yesterday. I guess he said how about the 5th race yesterday, the 7 one. I think he picked the 7 yesterday, didn't he?
He must have, yes. I can't. I have too much lack of memory loss.
Then Race Masters in the 5th, he likes number 7, October Bliss with Dylan Davis. And then Christopher likes in the 5th, number 2, Win in Place, Exacta Box 215 and Trifecta Box. And then Race Masters in the 6th likes number 6 with Davis. It's a long shot, 30-1. He said he has cousins that live in Finger Lakes area, and he said he used to be his favorite racetrack, but no more. Don't like the track anymore at all. Ooh, wow! He's gonna pass on the 7th race, and then Race Masters agree with me on the pick Prim track number 6. Yeah. However, he doesn't think the jockey's that good, and then Christopher says, yes, he did win with that 7 horse. Christopher in the 2nd race likes the 8, Win in Place, and then the Trifecta Box 8, 2, and 4.
Yeah. So Terry getting props. I rarely single horses, and yesterday I singled 2 up out there. I got the 1 horse in the opener, and then I took the 15-1 morning line shot, that one as well. The 2 horse. No love for me, apparently. All right. Off and running in race number 2. And they're running off in that 3 horse. Mon Petit, one we thought would get to the lead, has indeed taken that task. The 6 horse, the one that's the favorite, 3-2. That one's running in 2nd place. My 8 horse, hopefully on the outside, they're going to get a rough trip around the track. It looks like going to be wide, but we're going to need somebody else to go chase down that 3 horse because it's running away from everybody else right now, Mr. Terry. But here they come down around the corner. They're going to make an effort to go get this horse. Doesn't look like my 8 horse has got a shot to go get them, but you never know. They're still trying to fight and catch that 3 horse at 15-1. I don't know who's going to do it, but it looks like it's going to be between the 6 and the 1. If anybody's going to do it, the 3 horse is tiring a little bit. Does look like that 1 horse on the rail is going to have the best shot crack again. Now he's coming off the rail now. I don't know that they're going to run this one down. We're going to need that 1 to find its late legs here. I don't know if it's going to get it. We both needed to get it for our pick 4s to stay alive. There it goes. All right. So the 1 horse did find the ability to switch gears. Comes home your winner. 1, 3, 6. And then I think the 2. And then, yeah, see, that's the thing about those Parks horses, man. When they come from Parks up, they just do not put up the same kind of numbers.
That's
true. Parks.
He didn't break very well either. So
I've seen at Parks like horses with great early speed and they jump out to the lead like they should, and they have the numbers that you can count on. When the Naira horses come down to Parks, you can count on their speed numbers going up, and when the Parks horses go up to Naira, you can count on their speed numbers going down. I wouldn't say it's universal because nothing in the world is universal, but I'd put it at about 90%. Thanks, Christopher. I appreciate it. Right. All right. Off to race number 8. We got 3 to go today, and then again tomorrow. Myself and Thomas back for Ascot. Should be a fun day in England, always. Ascot, very difficult track to handicap. Hopefully not so difficult to handle race number 8 at Saratoga on this terrific Terry Thursday.
Yep. Well, it's shortening up to 6 furlongs. It's allowance race, $95,000 purse for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. Foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry, which have never won 20,000 other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or which have never won 2 races.
Tactical speed does well. You want to be middle forward at 6 furlongs, half of about roughly a little less than half win wire to wire. Better humor me, a little bit of a discount. 2 and 3 really not so hot either. So it looks like you want to be on the outside. That's the best place to be. 8 and outs. So if you're a Buffalo girl, go around the outside with some speed. But Dolomite, the only 8, doesn't look like that's the one that's going to be on the lead. A few others to its inside with a better chance.
Yeah, there's several of them that show speed, but the 5 shows the most speed. The 2 has an overlay of about 3 to 5 to 3 to 1. That's about the only overlay I see. And then the 2 and the 8 show par plus numbers, the best par plus numbers. And then several of them show, all but the 7 show C zones.
You got a real strong par plus number here from Cruz to Catalina. I know it's only making its second career start, but let's see if indeed it can live up to that hype. Our trip handicapping, everybody middle forward. The 2 horse getting a little bit of a potential EP type designation. Looking at the early speed, Easy Play, La Bancaria, Cruz to Catalina, News Delay. A whole bunch of horses up there with some opportunity to get to the front. The end of the race, Cruz to Catalina will be coming the quickest. Does also have some of the best early speed. At least that's what it showed so far. Dolomite will be coming. Will be a part of the pace as well. In its limited experience, Cruz to Catalina far exceeding everybody else, 9 points clear on the total pace. Terry, I do think this is probably a 2-horse race, but you never know.
Well, I like the 8 Dolomite as my top choice. Finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race. She can improve while returning to a sprint, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with another. They added Lasix today. Number 2, Cruz to Catalina, second choice, won her debut race at Aqueduct and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Number 1, Better Humor Me. My 3rd choice ran 2nd versus similar her last race. Her early speed running style will help her chances. So the shorter distance should be a good help for her. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. I like as my long shot, the 3, Easy Play. She finished 3rd in her last race. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
And then as far as this race is gone, Cruz to Catalina. I mean, if this horse steps it up at all in its second career start and takes the W here, she's a winner. And the next race isn't going to be here. It will be in a stakes race. Dolomite, going to drop from a grade 2 back in December. That was as a 2-year-old. Coming back as a 3-year-old, sometimes tricky. This one is getting first Lasix, so something went wrong in that. But I wonder if, Chad Brown, he likes those horses that have stakes race ability. I wonder if some point down the line, because if this horse needs Lasix, can't run in some of those stakes races, if you'll see this one up for sale at some point in the not too distant future. La Bancarera, in its debut, this horse exploded out of the gates, ran a phenomenal race. Next time out, it ran in the mud. Didn't like that at all. Going back to the fast track, its preferred surface, we could see another excellent race. Big Hazel, the 4-horse, showed some major signs of life in its last race. And the resume says that the horse is woken up and you'll see a better performance, even more so today. Maybe at a good price to fatten up those exactas and trifectas. 2 races to go. This one begins the late daily double. Terry, race number 9, another short one.
Yep, it's 5.5 furlongs on the turf. It's a grade 3 race. Careless. Anyway, grade 3 handicap race. The purse $200,000 for fillies and mares, 2-year-olds and upward.
Mohammed in the second race, race 8, likes the 2-horse. I agree with you on that call, Mohammed. In these 5.5 furlong races on the grass, Again, you want to be a stalker. You don't necessarily need to be on the lead, but be forward is very useful. You get a little bit of a bonus if you're on the rail. 2 through 7 really doesn't do that well either. Fast horses on the outside have the best chance to win. Terry, are there any fast ones on the outside?
Well, not really. That most of them have the speeder on the inside, the 2 and the 3, followed up by the 7. But it's a who knows race as far as who gets that quarter pole first. The 2 has an overlay from about 6.5 to 1 to 12 to 1. The 5 has an overlay from 5.5 to 1 to 10 to 1, and the 8 has an overlay of 4 to 1 to 10 to 1. Most of them show par plus numbers, and they're pretty fairly decent. And then all of them show C zones that are really pretty nice.
And there should be a fairly competitive race for this grade. You got over here the 11 horse. I know he's coming in from England, but you look at the comments, the horse made all is pretty common. 4 and 8 with a little bit of flexibility, make him pilot or co-pilot, probably where you want to be. These horses have a ton of flexibility. Really, the only 2 horses that might be dependent are the 2 and the 11. Early on, it does. I don't know why Coffee Maker should be the fastest up there. Star Guest coming in from England again. Really no pace numbers there. As far as our late speed is concerned, we're looking at Dance Macabre. That one is about a length quicker than everybody else. Top total pace horse is Don't Look Back at All, along with Coffee Maker being in that mix too. Because this is true. Because it's 100, that's why it's not showing up in there. I don't know how much bigger I got to make it to show up. It's just not showing up. I know why, because I copy and pasted it. So it just took the image. I get it. That makes sense now. So it is a hundo. That one should be on the front. All right, Terry, go ahead and make your picks for the grade 2 today.
Well, I like that 8. Don't Look Back at All. She finished in the money in her last 9 races and won 4 of those starts, including the last 2 starts, and her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. The 11 Star Guest is my second choice. She finished in the money in all of her career races, winning 3 of the starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 3, Future Is Now. Third choice, won 2 races in a row, going for a hat trick now. She has a high percentage winning jockey who is Paco Lopez. And then the 5, Dance Macabre. She finished in the money in her last 10 races, winning 5 of the starts, and she has 3 bullet workouts in a row. She's my long shot. I have no money to bet, so I can't bet in this race.
So the 11 horse, you got Charles Appleby coming in for a Godolphin horse. Didn't bring this horse in overseas to run second. I know I read an article that he shipped over the horses that he's thinking about running in the Breeders' Cup, so maybe this one is testing the waters. I would have liked to have seen a group win overseas, but I do think this horse, when you look at the breeding, just heads above everybody else. And Muhammad appears to agree with me on that one. So me and Muhammad thinking alike today. The Future Is Now. It's going to get Paco Lopez. Paco Lopez has run both times. And, the horse is 2-0 with Paco. Let's see if he can make it 3-0. And the horse is coming off a grade 2 win at Saratoga at the distance. So we know the horse can handle the competition and handle. And that was on the Belmont Stakes Day, which I think that card was much stronger than this one today. Coffee Maker, the 4 horse. This one should be on the gas from the get-go. And you really can never discount Wesley Ward in a short turf sprint. And then the Dance Macabre workouts are outstanding, getting prepped for the first race since mid-November. And all of this horse's first starts off the bench are pretty solid. I'm going to put 10 to win on the 11, and then a $3 a double 11 with the 7 and the 8 to expend my burning hole in my pants money. Last race for you and I this week, Terry, is the 10th race at Saratoga. Again, next week we'll be back, probably Ellis Park Monday. Not sure if we'll do Horseshoe Indianapolis or Delaware Park on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll do Saratoga, and maybe we'll add Del Mar on Thursday, depending upon the amount of time we have. Let's spend our time now, Terry, discussing race number 10.
Okay, it's 1 mile and 1/16, and it's another turf race on the inner turf. It's a maiden claiming $40,000 claiming price race. It's a purse $50,000. It's for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
And those inner turf 1 mile and 1/16 races Favorite closers, only one horse, maybe so far. So far, wire to wire, the rail really hasn't scored. So Tis the Prince might have to make that go. 2 and 3, they're a borderline fair. 4 and 7, they are the best place to be. 4 through 7. 8 and out also gets a little bit of a bonus. So once again, we find that being on the outside is favorable to being on the inside. Speed doesn't really matter unless you can get off to a really easy lead, Terry. It does look like the 5 horse might have a chance to do that.
It does. It has the most speed according to the data, although the 11 is second. And then the 2 has a really small overlay from 4 3/4 to 1 to 5 to 1. Not much one there, really. And then the 5 is 9 to 1 to 2 to 20 to 1. And the 8 is an overlay from 7 to 1 to 12 to 1. The 12 and the 5 show the only par plus numbers, and most of them show good C or some C zones, especially the 5, 12, and 2.
Yeah, maybe the 5 horse on the lead with the strongest C zone, chance to go wire to wire with an overlay and one of the par plus scores. Neither one of us have them in our picks. Might be regretful for that, particularly since it's a lone E. We've seen what in the hell happened here. Those are odds, folks. Let me go about putting the right things up in there because I don't know what the hell you call that. The 1, 3, 4, 9, and 10. Those guys have been the. What in the hell did I know what I did? So let's just go ahead and do this. Control V. Boom. What? Oh, because I don't know what's going on there. Race 10. How do I have more than there are horses? Because you took out the scratches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just screwed up, folks. But in any case, you do see that the 5 is the early speed. The 1, 3, 4, 9, and 11. Those folks haven't been within 5 lengths. The 2 should pressure. 6, 7. 8, 10, 12, they're going to be coming off the pace. Again, that is the way to win. And Terry thinks that's the way the 12 will win today.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I like that 12 Dakota Country. Ran second versus Tupper in the last race. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey and a nice bullet workout July 15th. The 10 English Castle is my second choice. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Carew, the 7 is my third choice. He also drops in class. He also has a high percentage winning trainer, but this trainer wins 28% of the time when taking a horse from a maiden to a maiden claiming race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Temple Creed is the 3 horse, is my long shot. Finished third versus similar in his only start, and he has a high percentage winning trainer.
10 horse, Koru, maiden special weight horse. Hasn't made it 2 consecutive races in a row before heading to the barn until today. That means that this talented horse is finally healthy, and I think you're going to see that horse turn the tables today on Dakota Country. The 8 horse, Mr. Tonic. Nothing but really difficult starts at the beginning, bumped, tangled, and still manages to be close at the end. It's also another horse making the second start for the first time in a row in its career. Don't be surprised if this one shocks at a price, folks. Dakota Country is another one of those maiden special weight droppers in here. It's going to be your favorite. Does have a bullet workout between races, but I do think vulnerable. And then English Channel, the 10 horse, was a tough call over the 2 horse for me, My Life Story, and the 6 within view. But it's another maiden special weight dropper. Does have room to rebound in the classic third start after a layoff. No bets for me either, Terry. Here are our full picks. The best way, Terry, not to miss any of our picks or any of our shows is to what?
Well, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the little bell that gives you the ability to get notified about what we have coming up. And then go ahead and copy the link down below and share it with your friends, your family, everybody you know, so you can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites such as Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, and give us race
Horse race to number 2 day.
Number 2 day. That's because I'm getting older there. But anyway, and give us thumbs up and likes there. And, anytime you can give us comments or picks or anything like that, we really appreciate it. We enjoy seeing them. Plus, it helps us out quite a bit.
Yeah, indeed. So again, tomorrow, Tom and I back for 4 and Friday at Ascot. Make sure you tune in for that so you can get up Saturday morning, and get your day off to a good start with some tea and hopefully a couple of trips to the winners enclosure. That's what they call it elsewhere. Of course, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this terrific Terry Thursday, we want you to treat each other kindly and that all your endeavors have God's grace, God's favor, and everything you do until we get back together again ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. See you tomorrow. Have a great, great day.